I'd be more than happy to leave families out of this, but you decide to use them all the time when you want sympathy or money from your subs, so nothing is off limits. Now, with regards to the use of your family, I remember back in the day, Brett, when you made e-begging videos talking about how your kid needed surgery. This was lampooned by the user JonesR99, but I don't know if this was true or not. I don't know if they actually did require surgery or if this was a case of you just using this to get money, but I have my opinion, because let's face it, Brett, you and the truth don't go hand in hand. But when it came out the second time about the domestic assault charges filed against you by your wife, and you made the video contradicting the first time you'd explained why the charges were filed, you decided to plagiarise a poem about your dead mother to try and gain sympathy. And we're going to talk about plagiarism in just a moment. Here's the poem in question. And you plagiarise constantly, not just essays and poems, but you even had the nerve to steal other people's videos and then pretend they were your own. What's the matter, Brett? Jealous somebody beat you to it? Now here we have what Brett Keane is most notable for here on YouTube, plagiarism. That poem you just saw was originally called Dad by Judy Burnett. Brett Keane decided to repost it, reword it slightly, and retitle it Erase My Innocence by Brett Keane. The reason he did this was because the domestic assault charges against him by his wife came out again, and he told the second story. And when people saw that it contradicted the first one, they kind of put two and two together and came to the conclusion that Brett Keane beats his wife. Now, this isn't the only time Brett Keane has committed plagiarism. He was also exposed on YouTube for plagiarizing a video called Pedophile in Chief. Brett Keane just reposted the video and then retitled it Dear Muslims, was Muhammad a pedophile? Never giving any credit to the original video. And that's the kind of bullshit that we're dealing with here. And TJ himself even talked about Brett Keane's plagiarism in the past. Here's a couple of clips to demonstrate what I mean.
In fact, prior to YouTube, Brett had been run off an atheist forum called Atheist FM for plagiarizing an essay. Apparently, he didn't learn anything from that experience.
In this video, dubbed Pedophile in Chief, it's actually uploaded by a user named Kiryuako. It was actually uploaded February 2nd in 2009, and when I click the More Info tab, it says, and most surely you conform yourself to sublime morality, Quran 68-4. Well, here's the interesting part. The video is actually 2 minutes and 43 seconds long. Now, this is about the point to where if you start playing it, you can see... It's going to take a second. There's no sound on this video, so I apologize. There is some Arabic writing, but you notice that the background is very close or similar to which the Stallion had uploaded. Now, if you watch closely this video, it shows you exactly what was in the Stallion 76's video. It's kind of interesting, actually. But I won't go too long as far as dragging this video out, because it is 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Now let's do a side-by-side, or actually let's look at the video that was uploaded by the Stallion. Now here's the video in which the Stallion 76 had uploaded, and it does happen to be on April 30th, 2009. And if you click the More Info button, it says, Dear Muslims, was Muhammad a pedophile? It's kind of odd. Change the wording a little bit, and you don't have to worry about somebody finding out if you plagiarized or not. It doesn't actually cite the original poster, nor does it show the originator of the video. So let's go ahead and take a watch real quick and see the similarities. Oh, there's music on this video. Wow, that looks familiar. I think I've seen that somewhere before. Weird. And as you notice that this video is only 1 minute and 58 seconds long. So there's somewhat of a good difference between the original and this one. Now I'm going to pause it here, and you see this screen. Now if I scroll back on the original poster of this video, oh wow, imagine that. So this is the video, Pedophile in Chief, and this is the video, Dear Muslims, Was Muhammad a Pedophile? The similarities are just quite astonishing.
Someone sent me to a site created by you, where you claimed that you had written the lyrics to a song that you had not written the lyrics to. A song by the band Him. I don't remember the exact song, but I told you, I emailed you and said, Brett, what's up with this? You better take this down, because if any of your detractors find this, they're going to have a field day. What's up with this anyway? And you gave me some very lame explanation that it automatically puts your name in, which I know is not the case. I mean, it does automatically put the person's name in, but not in the particular field that it was in. You had titled the song Such and Such by Brett Keane. It was part of the title of the song, as you had input it. So it was blatant plagiarism.
I just would like you to admit that you're human, that you made a mistake, and that probably in hindsight a better way to have dealt with it would have been to say, yeah, I should have credited Judy, and I shouldn't have made it look like it was my own poem. Because not only I saw it, Brett, about 200 or 300 people saw you do it.
You know what I actually feel bad about doing, Ulysses? I feel bad about being mean to you as well as our been in the past. Some of the comments like calling me a cow. That's what I feel bad about. But do I feel bad for plagiarism? No. But do I feel bad for plagiarism? No. But do I feel bad for plagiarism? No.
How you can't even tell the truth about your own work. Why don't you tell the nice people on YouTube where the reviews on Amazon for your book Eternal Undying Love 3 really came from? Here's one that still makes me laugh to this day. On Amazon you can find advertised Brett Keane's books Eternal Undying Love 2, and Eternal Undying Love 3. Those books he has published via Lulu because no publisher would touch them with a 10-foot barge pole. Absolutely poor storytelling at its finest, and so riddled with grammatical errors it's just pathetic. Realistically, if those books were published on a mass scale, they would have sold so poorly that the rest would have been pulped down and recycled into toilet paper. That's why you have to pay for them to get published one at a time, via Lulu. Now, Brett Keane has stuck up his own reviews on Amazon.com. I'm going to read the reviews to you now. This was also exposed by the user JonesR99 in a video called Brett Keane and Consumer Fraud. Let's take a look at the reviews. Editorial reviews. Detective Resner is by far the greatest detective I have ever read about. DetectiveLovers.org. Finally, a book that gives life to demons and vampires. Horror.com. Gamora the Witch is my favourite character. She is intelligent and cunning. Pagans.com. The book is a hellish roller coaster that I had the pleasure of riding. Serpent's Cradle Magazine. www.serpentscradle.com.
This is the page for Brett Keane's book, Eternal Undying Love 2, The Second Coming. The editorial reviews for Brett's book contain these gems. Bruce White from The Best of Horror magazine writes, I read the first one, Eternal Undying Love, and this sequel is just as great as the first. And Shelley Smith from Vampire Fans magazine writes, Eternal Undying Love 2 captures it all. Compelling horror and powerful wording. One slight problem here, these magazines don't exist. They're fictitious. Brett Keane made up the names, made up the magazines, and made up the endorsement in order to fool people into thinking his book had been endorsed by magazine editors. This is called deceptive advertising through false endorsement. It's a form of consumer fraud. It's not ethical, it's not legal, but it's the only way Brett Keane can sell his books because they suck so bad.
You know, the funny part of all of this, which Jones R99 did actually expose, SerpentsCradle.com was a website owned and operated by Brett Keane. DetectiveLovers.org, as far as I'm aware, has never existed. And as for Horror.com and Pagans.com, well, Horror.com maintain they never heard of you. The second site is Pagans.com, and Pagans.com, they've rebranded themselves WiccanNeoPagans.com. Again, they've never heard of you.